I'm sure.
Now, I want to ask you another question. I belong to a Bravo group. I seem to, I don't know, I'm attracted to Bravo celebrities because it's like a new thing now, all the housewife shows and stuff like that, Below the Deck and all the Real Housewives of New York, New Jersey, OC, Beverly Hills. So do you have any like secret guilty shows that you like to watch?
No,
Doesn't
not
have to be
really.
Bravo, but any show. Is there any show you
No.
love?
Not it's weird. I don't know. I stopped watching. I used to watch TV a lot growing up. I don't know when I was on the Happy Days. I got to the point where maybe because that was occupying so much of my life, I kind of fell out of watching
TV.
television.
Ah.
Yeah, and that's continued to the point
Wow.
where I don't. My wife and I couldn't even tell you, like the shows and
Really?
people are like.
Now,
I feel
so you're kidding me.
out of it,
Wow, that's unbelievable. So now you tell me that. Let me see. Like, what about like Will and Grace? What do you think about? Have you ever heard of that show with Deborah
yeah, of course.
Messing?
Oh no, I mean I know of it, and I might have seen like a little piece in the original one.
Right.
I might have seen like a half of an episode here.
Oh,
half of an
wow.
episode there. I'd see the little bits and pieces, but I never like watched it on a regular basis.
Wow,
And
that's
I know
pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So what do you do
Yeah.
in your downtime then?
Oh gosh, I wish I could figure it out. No, I mean, I do. I'm caught up a lot in the music, so I've been working on that a lot, and then also on projects I'm trying to get going because I've directed 3 independent films.
Yes.
And so I have several film projects that I'm trying to get going, and a couple of TV ones as well. So that's been taking up time, working on the development of those, writing them, and working.
Is that anything you can talk about, or is it kind of hush hush because you're still working on it? It's still in progress.
Yeah, it's still kind of in progress, so I can't quite mention anything, until they become a little bit more concrete.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will happen. But, and then I don't know, I watch more than anything, and I never used to, but I'm glued to watching news now, because it's just a crazy time.
It is.
So I'm watching that a lot, and,
and you're busy. You're
yeah,
busy
and
with
I've
music
been
and
busy.
everything.
I did a lot of traveling with the music. I was in New York doing a show, and then I was in Pittsburgh not too long ago for something, and like we said, I'm going to Puerto Vallarta in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So yeah, I've been pretty busy, and hopefully, and I'm really looking now that I've established. I want the music to continue and grow, and be able to do it more and more and in a bigger scale. But I've got it moving, and now my focus is able to balance again, and I don't want to lose. I'm having a real desire to get back in front of the camera and do some interesting roles, in TV, film, that sort of thing. And I did a play just a couple of months ago. It was great getting back on stage. I did The Sunshine Boys with Robert Wall, and it was a lot of fun. So it really reminded me how much I miss acting too, because I had shifted my focus onto the music for the last few years. But now I'm really looking. Been taking meetings for TV, for some TV roles and film roles, and there's a couple independent films that I might be doing this spring. So I'm really looking to amp up the acting, the acting part of it.
Hey Don, can you tell our listeners where they can buy your CDs?
Oh yeah, so it's on iTunes, and you could download it on iTunes or get the CD on Amazon. So that's easy. And it's called Mostly Swinging. And it swings. I'll tell you, the band, some of the top jazz players in LA, and the arrangements are just, first rate. And I just had a blast. So I think people, if you're into that kind of music,
absolutely.
jazz, the standards.
I got a lot of emails
swing.
asking where the CD was, or what, because I know also Swinging Down the Chimney was a great Christmas CD. I loved it. We played it this winter. It was a great CD.
Great.
You did
Thanks.
such a beautiful job. I loved it.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, Swinging Down the Chimney Tonight was the name of that one.
Yep.
And that's also on iTunes and Amazon.
All right, great. And now what about, like for maybe booking purposes, what about your website? Is it www.donmost.com?
It's www.donnymost.com. DONNY.
Okay. And so that way, if anybody wants to maybe get in touch with you, because, we have, as you know, in Florida, Orlando anyway, we also have a lot of beautiful little theaters here. And I have a great jazz band that I want to hook you up with here one day.
We have to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
We'll get together and we'll talk about that again. He's a wonderful, wonderful player, and he's got a great band. Oh, you would absolutely love him. Yes.
Yeah. I would definitely will talk to you about
that. Absolutely. And what else did I want to talk? Oh, I wanted to ask of you just a couple of little, not personal, but kind of off the discussion about music. So when you were on Happy Days, I know it's very hard working with everybody for so many years. For 20 years you were there, almost, I think.
Oh, no, it wasn't that long. It wasn't that long. The show ran from it premiered in 1974, January.
Right.
And it ran 11 seasons. And I was on the first 7.
Then where did I get 2 decades from?
I don't know. Because it was on in the 70s. It came on in the 70s and it went on into the 80s. So it spanned 2 decades.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It spanned 2 decades, but it actually ran 11 seasons, and I did the first 7.
Okay.
Ron Howard and I left after the 7th season.
Right. Now, did you have a favorite actor or actress that you worked with? And did you have a not so favorite person you worked with?
Okay. You mean from the guest stars, or
anybody? Anybody or anybody? Any kind of juicy little 411?
No, I don't. I can't really say there. I'm not going. I don't really recall anyone where I'm going. I really had a bad experience working with them.
Yeah.
I don't really recall.
You know why? Because I think you're a very easygoing guy. You're a very humble person, and that's a really wonderful quality. Really, you're very humble. You're not like high drama type of person. You seem very laid back. So I'm assuming everybody enjoyed working with you because you're such a decent person.
Well, I hope so. Our regular cast, the regulars, we all got along incredibly well. We loved working together. We respected each other professionally, and we got along so well, and that kept growing on a personal level. So, but we took the work seriously.
Right.
It wasn't like we were just goofing off. I mean, we had a good time because we liked each other and we liked what we were doing.
Right, and it was a comedy. You're going to have a good time doing it.
Yeah, but we also took it very seriously and worked at it. It wasn't just so I loved working with everybody on the show in our cast. Ron, came at it from somebody who'd been in the business since he was 3 in his whole life, and what an incredible sort of steadying influence he was on everybody, and he was a rock solid person.
Yeah, he seems like a very nice person. Nobody ever has a harsh word about Ron Howard, ever.
No, and look what he's gone on to do. Amazing work. But and Henry was great to work with, and Tom Bosley and Marion. Marion's an incredible woman. I just saw her recently, and Anson and I are still really good friends.
I saw on your Facebook page you have a picture with Anson. I guess you guys were singing somewhere.
Yeah. He came and guested at one of my. He came up and did a song with me at one of my shows, and we also even did a couple together where we did sort of a look at the Happy Days show, but all the music, the 50s music, we did together, which was fun. So. we get together a lot.
Oh, it's wonderful. That's a great thing to keep such a friendship for so many years. Do you think there'll ever be a reunion?
Well, we had several over the years. That were televised. I think there were 2, possibly 3. I can't even remember. The last one was around 2005. So, another one, I don't know. Unfortunately, we lost Tom Bosley.
Yeah, that's true.
And Erin Moran very recently, so sadly.
Yeah.
And Al Molinaro and Pat Morita. So
there was a lot of people missing. It would be hard to not have them in a reunion. I get it. Yeah.
I don't know. And Gary Marshall, who's
that Gary Marshall. What a talented human being he is. Intelligent, genius he was.
Yeah. But you never, who knows?
You never know.
In some shape or form, there could be something. We'll see.
So now we're going to talk about possibly coming in the summer. The dates change from March to perhaps maybe June, that you'll be performing at Full Sail University in Orlando.
Correct.
And when you get the dates and the ticket information, we'll get together on that. I encourage everybody to pick up his new CD. You can get it through iTunes, he said, and Amazon.com, correct?
That's right. Demos, Mostly Swinging.
Demos, Mostly Swinging. Pick it up. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. If you dig Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, all the old-time crooners, singers, jazz, swing stuff, please pick up Don's CD. I mean, he is really very... I think a lot of people were surprised at such a talented voice, because you were such a comedian type of person, for that whole time we saw you. And then here you come out with this bang, this voice. Yeah. When I wrote your blog, I attached a video, and I think I got like about 800 comments saying, I never knew he could sing. I didn't know he had a voice like that. So
I know people are they don't expect that, which I can understand. They know me from playing Ralph.
Right.
And that's not who I was to begin with. I was very different than that character in real life.
Right.
But that's how they know me. So of course, people are surprised, and when they come to the shows, they're totally like, wow, we're totally blown away.
It does. It's so mind blowing. Because I think people are very. There's a terminology, I can't think of it, like. You're a creature of habit. So they're used to seeing you one way. They don't know about, your critically acclaimed films that you directed and acted in. So, it's
natural. It's
very natural.
It's understandable. But so I'm trying to expose it, to get it exposed in a bigger way so people know what I'm doing, and I can continue to do it because I love it.
Absolutely. I'm so happy, Don, that you called in this evening. I'm very grateful. And we're going to absolutely keep in touch. And anybody and everybody can get all of Don's information on my Eleanor's Elite Radio fan page or my website, www.eleanorsradioshow.com. And I will update everybody as soon as Don gives me any more information about the concert in Orlando. Is that about right, Don? Is there anything else you want to add, my friend?
No, I think you've covered it all for now. You've done a great job.
But let's let's keep in touch so that you can keep me updated, and you and I will speak during the week. All right, darling?
Sounds great.
All right, Don. You take care, sweetie. Okay. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.